Drivers, riders, what is up? I'm actually on the highway right now, heading to, of all places, Firehouse Subs. I turned this camera on just to capture this so I can maybe edit it into another video, or if I continue extending out a vlog today, it'll just be wrapped into it. But it's an $8 payout, so I was tempted to just go ahead and do it. The reason why I haven't been to Firehouse Subs in a long time is because it's just always been a bad experience for me picking up, and just not me personally. I've read in some Facebook groups, and I think some people might have even commented on my videos that Firehouse Subs, like the employees, just have attitude, and I don't know why. So my story goes like this. The first time I went to Firehouse Subs to pick up the food, I went to the area that says online orders and mobile app orders here. So I go to that little designated spot, I wait, the girls are down at the other end of the thing, and I'm kind of like, just any day now would be fantabulous. They just kept ignoring me. So eventually they turned around like, do you have a pickup order? And I like look up at the sign, like, this is what this area is designated for, right? Is what I'm thinking. And I was like, yeah, I show them, I hold up my phone, I was like, yeah, I'm here with UberEats to pick up for whoever the customer name was at that time. And like, oh, we'll get you down here. Taking out of the consideration that I'm here for UberEats. If I was a regular, like, app customer, like if I went into the Firehouse Subs app and picked up, and made my order, would you have made me walk down there? Like, bring me the food. Not even for the trip. A few steps isn't gonna, like, break my soul. So I go down to the edge of the counter, get the food, and they just kind of like toss it off to me, like, oh, here you go, have fun with these scraps, and turn their back and started talking to each other again. So I'm like, okay. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not getting paid to be your Instagram friend. You're not paid to be my Instagram friend, to like and follow me. It's cool. You're not even like work buddies. It's whatever. So I take the subs and I go on about my life. Well, everybody has off days. Everybody just has those days where they just don't feel like having humans around them. I get it. So I've worked retail, and I've had those days where customers come up and I'm like, what do you want now? The staplers are on aisle 15. Go. That's that one time. So I went back again and I was like, okay, I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm not going to go where it says mobile orders. I'm going to go down to the end of the counter where everybody's hanging out and partying, and I'm going to go ask for my food. So I go down there again, backs to me. It looks like she was training a new girl on how to make the sandwiches or whatever. I was putting my keys in my pocket. I wasn't like trying to service anything like that. I was just putting them in there. So she turned around and same kind of like mobile order, or like pick up. Yeah, UberEats here for blah blah blah. Okay, hang on. Like she had like this foot long sub across the top. And, she gets it down and kind of just kind of like dumps it into my chest, and I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks. Have a good day. And then turns around and just starts training the girl again. And I was just like, never again. Never again. I just haven't accepted any orders from Firehouse Subs in months. So it's a Sunday. It's God's day. I'm going to go in here, and we're going to see what the mess happens.
I can get you a drink here, but it's too big for these, so that looks
Doing a pickup order for Miles under Uber.
6361. Alright, I got it right here. Both the cookies are in the bag.
Awesome, thank you much. 2. Well, that was not bad. It was surprisingly a pleasant experience. There was a guy up there, the customer in front of me, he was like saying, the drink holder that they have can't fit his cups of soup. Let me recommend this for you. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody just went in there and cleaned house, just like sweeped all the bad away. But yeah, he smiled. He act like he had a soul. Why isn't his seatbelt clicking? We'll worry about that later. But yeah, he was on point. So Firehouse Subs, I might be coming back to you. Let's get this order done for this customer. Bop. We're gonna, yes, and you actually get one of these guys, believe it or not. Start delivery.
Head northwest toward West William Cannon Drive.
Let's do it. Also, you guys probably saw when I walked in, I don't know if the video caught it. I won't know until I actually edit this thing. But I went past the pickup area where it says mobile orders. I was like, nope, not doing that. I've learned my lesson. So after many years, I have mastered the pickup technique from Firehouse Sub. Now, will it work next time I go in there? I don't know. This could be just a fluke. Or Firehouse Subs could be back on my list. 'Cause I get quite a few orders pinging from this location. And those past experiences kind of put salt all up in my Kool-Aid, and I was not drinking it. Another thing too, guys, like gas is like stupid cheap right now. I'm thinking just getting a bunch of gas cans and just kind of harvesting these things, because that's a good price. Might just fill up today just for the fun of it. Why not? Don't know if you guys ever saw that movie Zoolander, where they were having that gasoline fight. Love that freaking movie. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I mean, that's just being wasteful. But yeah, it's really cheap gas right now.
Have a great night. Thank you. You too.
With all past things considered, I'm happy I took that order. So Firehouse Subs, you might got me. We'll see. Miles, not Miles Morales, but we're gonna say delivered, and we're just waiting for another order here. While we have time to wait, this is what the map is looking like today, guys. I'm over here in this 1.7 multiplier. The zone I normally frequent right now is a 1.1, and then there is a 1.5 not too far from us. Even though it's 1.1, I see why they now have that set as 1.1 in that area, because the payout in that area, if it was any higher than that, would be outrageous. There's a lot of restaurants in that area, so it's constantly getting ping. I really didn't notice it before when I first started doing this. I would just be down there just, you know, doing my whole thing until I started learning, like, you know, study the map, try to work zones that have higher multipliers. And even still, you guys see me try to chase the zones. It's going to take you wherever it wants you to go, or kind of sometimes wherever you allow it to go. Sometimes they sneak attack me and put me in, you know, positions where I don't want to be. But yeah, you can try to stay in a hot zone as much as you want, but sometimes you can be in a hot zone. Someone orders food from your zone that pulls you into a not so hot zone. So that's another thing you have to kind of also consider. But at the end of the day, I just like to be moving and making money. So if I can do that, then that's great. Am I vlogging today, guys? I don't know. Am I? Yeah, no. Whoa, hopefully that wasn't a body. Let's get out of here. It just seems like every time I turn on the camera, I also turn on the crazy. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe just some spot blogging here and there. How about that? In the midst of, I guess, waiting for everything, if you guys are going to be watching this video, I've been mentioning a few times in my comments about getting deactivated with Shipt. So before there was dispatch, there was actually Shipt when it came to my multi-apping experience. So been wanting to sit down and talk about my Shipt experience for quite a while. I think I've mentioned it quite a few times in comments, because a lot of people keep saying, why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? I don't know, maybe if they just want to see like my experience with it, or just see videos on it. But Shipt was one of the ones that have come up quite a bit, and I've done Shipt. If you don't know what Shipt is, it's a lot like Instacart. If you don't know what Instacart is, you know, let me start over from the beginning. Those apps are apps that you use to go pick up groceries for people. You're not going to be going to restaurants. You go to actual grocery stores. You do the shopping for them. Sometimes they have orders where you can just pull up in a designated spot, and you can just text them and say, catch me outside. How about that? And they bring you the food to your car. You don't even have to go in there. So that's what Shipt was. Instacart is a lot like that too. You guys know I shout out Dimples on Demand all the time. Her channel's actually evolved into Instacart shopping, I guess. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, I highly recommend you go look at her videos. They're awesome. Down here, when I was doing Shipt, we picked up from H-E-B, which is a pretty big grocery store down here in Austin, Texas. I think it just might be a Texas chain altogether. I remember having some orders that pinged me for CVS, which is a pharmacy. I don't know what you guys have up there, so I'm just gonna kind of throw in an AKA 47. I'm just gonna throw in like an AKA what it would be probably in your area. So it's a pharmacy, like a Walgreens. Then I got a lot of orders that pinged me to go to Target. Everybody should know what Target is. I'm not even gonna play that game with you guys. The good thing I liked about Shipt is, you're just going to the grocery store. You know, after a while with Uber, you kind of learn where all your restaurants are, so you don't even have to use the map. You see the name, you kind of know what street it is on, and you're on your way. Now, I haven't seen this with Instacart, and I could be wrong. And Dimples can put it down below, or anyone else who does Instacart can, educate me on this. I haven't jumped into it yet. I did sign up though, so you guys might be seeing a video or two. One thing I liked about Shipt is you didn't have to put yourself on a schedule. Because I guess the people who had themselves on a schedule and orders they couldn't fulfill, those orders would trickle down into a thing that I call the promotion queue, or the cherry picking queue. So you can turn on the app and you can see all these orders that are just up for grab, which I used to love because I didn't get that crazy Uber buzzer, which is almost kind of like being at a call center again. You can just look at all these orders like, okay, I will take that one, and you just go work it. And the cool thing about that queue was that the longer the order stayed in that queue, Shipt would start giving you an incentive to go knock that order out. So let's say it was an order that was $8 to just do regularly, and whoever it got assigned to just couldn't do it because they were swamped, or they, just didn't want to do it for whatever reason. It falls into that cherry picking queue. I'm gonna call it that. The longer it stays in there, Shipt will be like, here's another $1. Why don't you go do that order? You're like, that's okay. And it starts going up from there. $1, $5, $10, $20. I've seen it go up to $25. By that time, someone's gonna snatch it up. So they'll pay you the $8 to finish it, plus the $20 promo pay, or $25, whatever it was when you snatched it, to also finish it out. And on top of that, the customer might tip you. So that's bank on top of bank on top of bank. So yes, that was amazing. Ooh, hang on. Bombay Bistro, $11. We're taking that. We'll be back, guys, right after these commercial messages. Y'all, we're gonna go pick up this Bombay Bistro right quick fast. I'm gonna try to explain this while I'm driving over there. We'll see how scatterbrained I get. Let's go. What was I saying? Yeah, bank. Money on top of money. The bad thing I didn't like about Shipt was that most orders didn't come in till like after 2 o'clock. Because I guess that's when people are like at work and like, oh crap, our refrigerator is empty. We need to get some food for tonight. Ever so often I'll have a few orders that were in the morning, and a lot of those were promo orders because a lot of people, I don't know, Shipt shoppers just weren't up early in the morning. I don't know. Or they had orders that they took and they just couldn't fulfill. There was a lot of times I wake up and there'd be a $20 promo order sitting there. That would get me up out of bed, and then while I was already up, I would turn on Uber and I would multi-app it that way. Eventually, I phased out Uber because I just started relying on Shipt, I was like, I wake up about 2 o'clock and I can just start doing my Shipt stuff, but I was staying out to like 12 o'clock. So I was doing like 2 to 12. That wasn't Shipt's fault, it was my fault. I was chasing the money. I mean, you keep seeing big high dollar promo orders coming in, and I just got blinded by the change. I got blinded by the change, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I got my first $20 cash tip from this lady, I was like, there's something to this. So I told myself that, I said, I'm gonna just do straight Shipt. I'm gonna see what kind of money Shipt can bring in. So I turned off Uber and went full force Shipt. Averaging out, when I looked at my weeks when I was doing straight Uber, granted, good promotions, and you're really working the app, I averaged about, 625, I think was like the most I made when I had first started doing Uber. And that was me also first learning how to do these delivery services. So we got to take that in consideration too. I started pulling off on Uber during the summer because I was like, I don't have to be out here killing myself. I'm making enough to get the bills paid, and that's good enough for me because I wanted to start focusing more on like my art and stuff, because that was also bringing in money. But anyway, when I went and did Shipt, like full sales ahead on Shipt, I would say those weeks ended maybe like 680, 690, maybe even maybe 700. So maybe not quite the same, but averaging around the same. You will do, well, I did, I don't know about you guys, you will do less orders. So like on Uber, on average, I got to do about 18 deliveries to get my $100 or more. Granted, there's promotions, granted you're working and you're getting tips. You always got to take that into consideration. Shipt, I would do about 8 and could be in the $100 range. But take this into consideration, each order, if you're going to be doing a full service order, which means you're going to the grocery store, getting a cart, running around the store and doing it, is going to take 25 to 30 minutes depending on how fast you are. And I got pretty damn fast. So I was burning through these stores like nothing. Make sure I'm on the right path. Don't want to end up in Guatemala. I was getting through these orders pretty fast, and I was turning over orders pretty quickly. And I was sometimes even working 2 orders at the same time. one time even 3 orders. Like I was becoming a Shipt shopper pro. Maybe that's what scared him off. I don't know. Shipt was bringing a little bit more. Now the other thing that was a pro about Shipt, it was almost as though I had passive income. But I remember doing my first couple orders and not seeing much of a return. When I say that is, there'll be orders in the promo queue that you just might want to just work at that rate because someone else might snatch it and you might just not have any orders for that day. Like you see me do with dispatch, like sometimes the orders just get snatched up so quickly. So there is that kind of thing if you're not going to be a schedule-based Shipt shopper. So if you're working like $8 orders, $8 orders, $8 orders, and then you get to the end of your day and nobody tipped, you can understand you really didn't hit $100. But wait, there's more. Shipt shoppers normally will put their tips in at the end of the day, the next day, the next week, the next time they go in and use the app, which can also be a benefit. So I will say, if you're going to do Shipt, work a full week and a half, and then you will see your reward come in. After my first week of working, the tips started coming in, and it made up for everything. The tips were insane. So you will definitely be happy that you kept shopping for the customers. The people sometimes want to see their complete bill finished out with Shipt, and then they go in and tip. Okay, so this is what my grocery bill is. Let me tip this person that. Some people just forget, and when they go back in and order groceries again, oh yeah, Reggie, that's not my name, I'm just saying, Reggie was cool. He deserves this tip. I say that because I remember working like heavy when I first got into there, and I took like 4 days off. I'm like, I am tired, because I mean, it's a lot of work. Like, you're running around the grocery store, you're picking up items, you're texting the customer. As Dimples mentioned in one of her videos, like sometimes they're not responsive and it's holding up the works. It's like, I gotta get this moving. Do you want these dill sandwich pickles or not? Or do we need to substitute these for the house brand? And people just don't reply sometimes. It's weird. You were just by your phone, like, what happened? Is the house on fire? Do we need to cancel this order? With that too, it's another good thing, because we complained about the Uber restaurants, and we're kind of like, oh, we got to sit there and wait for the food to get done for the Uber restaurant. But as fast as you can shop is sometimes as fast as you get the orders done. The only people that might slow you up would be the customers. There's a lot of communication you have to do with the customers, especially if they're one of those customers who ask for like substitutions and whatnot. You want to try to find something that you can substitute. I mean, if it's out, it's out. You just can't magically make Honey Nut Cheerios appear. Like, they're out. Like, there's nothing here for you. I'm sorry. And then you just move on with your shop. We're still heading off to this where are we going? Bombay Bistro. We're still heading off to Bombay Bistro. So about the tips, I kind of went on a whole like roller coaster tirade. What I'm saying, I took like 4 days off, and I went back into my app that Monday, and I was like, I gotta get these bills paid, and I had $60 waiting for me from orders from past weeks. Like, once I actually got fully immersed in the app, I'd be working, I was like, man, I only have $20 sitting, because like, you know, sometimes you have to work a lot of $8 orders or whatever, and I'm like, man, this is all I got for today. I've been like hustling. And you drop off one order in the app refresh, and you're like up $70 because some tips came in from the past week. It is a big upside to that once you start getting it rolling. Don't stop. I know it can be discouraging. Like, man, I can go do my Uber real quick and, you know, get my change. Don't stop. Just keep going, and you'll see that it's worth it. Deactivation wise, which is what we kind of came into this whole thing. So like most things, even with Uber, you have to keep your ratings high. 5.0 was the highest you can get. I remember getting a few, because you get like a weekly report that says, how have you done this week? And I remember getting a weekly report toward the end of my Shipt experience, and a few times my rating went from a 5 to a 4.9, then it went to a 4.8. It was just kind of going down. Then it went to a 4.7. 4.7 is where you are like borderline. You don't want to go past that. Then it went to a 4.6 a few weeks after that. So if you get into a 4.6, it's kind of like in the red zone. Shipt will send you a thing and say, hey, your rating dropped, drop below a 4.6. Here's a refresher course on some things that might help you get your rating back up. And I'm like, cool. And each week your report shows you how the customer rates you. I got like stellar scores and everything, like great communicator, went above beyond, like extra stupid friendly. Like, it doesn't have that on there. I'm just saying, just like really, really friendly. And the only thing that I ever got a bad mark on was like pick up the wrong item. You're kind of thinking like, how can that be when you're scanning it and it tells you? Sometimes it'll scan and say, you know, mix and match item. Sometimes it doesn't scan at all. You kind of got to look at the label, look at what you got, and then it could be a new label, and that could maybe have thrown the customers off too. In my case, you know, if I want to put the blame on me, which I don't have a problem doing, let's say you got to go get like 4 cans of beans, you scan the first one up front and you start grabbing the other ones. If you don't check each one of those beans, then you pick up like refried when they're all supposed to be pinto. That could be picking up the wrong order or picking up the wrong item. Also too, is this place closed? Hang on, let's go up here and see if I made this trip for nothing. Never mind. Yeah, for Marcelo. These here. And your sign outside is off.
Yeah, we just got.
Okay.
We just closed a few of them.
Thank you. Well, shut my mouth wide open. You guys don't know if you heard me say, yeah, we just closed at 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock, so makes sense. I thought they stayed open a little bit later. I was like, was just trying to be helpful. Tell your sign was off. All right, Marcelo, let's go drop this off. We'll get back to that Shipt story, I promise. Another thing too, I got a few comments. They were like, you don't have to always type in the address in the in your other app. Uber would transfer the what is wrong with my brain? Uber would transfer the information into your native app. I don't have that. As you guys can see, it's grayed out. It's grayed out. I can't tap on that to open up my native app. I go into my settings. Uber is the only thing that is checked. So I just got to do it the old-fashioned country way, I guess. We're back. So back to the Shipt stuff. Beans. We were talking about beans. If you get the wrong can, if you're not making sure that each one of the if you're not making sure that, sorry guys, trying to get a good angle here because the camera might have been slipping early. If you're not making sure that each one of those UPC codes are the exact same, then it could be a problem. And like back to the whole label thing, if it's new labels, like up front they had like the old labels and then you have to throw in one of the new labels, customer could also think like, what, you know, what is this? Like, why did he give me the wrong can? Sometimes people overreact and they don't actually read it. It could have been a lot of things, but that was the only things I got marks on. You know, I did my review, got access back to my account and whatnot, and I was back up and running. My score started going back up. I got out of the 4.6, I was back up to a 4.8 after all was said and done. That was the only thing. I had 3 of those reports over a span of like a couple of weeks, just saying that you picked up the wrong item. They don't tell you what item it was, they don't tell you what customer it was, just like with Uber, you know, protecting the customer there. I guess they don't want you to show up and ask, be like, hey, I got you that bok choy. Like, what are you talking about? I remember just doing one of my last orders. It was dropping off at an apartment complex, and a thing popped up in the cherry picking queue saying, you know, there's an order for like $15 to finish it. It was $15 base pay order, $20 if somebody can finish it out. So I was trying to grab it, and a message kept popping up on my screen, and I couldn't read it clearly because I was driving. And after I delivered the order, I was like, you know, if it's meant for me to have, it'll be there, and I'll just come get it. Came back to my car, it was still there. I was like, yes. Tried to click on it, read the actual error message, says like, this driver account has been disabled. I was like, what the mess are y'all talking about? So yeah, they disabled my account, and I thought maybe I had picked up too many promo orders, or I don't know. I didn't know what the reason behind it was, but it was late. Like I said, I was working till like 12 o'clock doing Shipt because I was chasing the money. I was, you know what, this is probably just time for me to go home, and I'll deal with this tomorrow. Woke up the next day, I still had access to the queue. I can still see all the orders coming in. My tips were still coming in. Before I forget, that's another good thing about them. Even after I was disabled, even to this day, I still get tips from Shipt shoppers. So you know I was delivering some bomb customer service. I woke up the next day, and I called them, or it's better to like get on the app and like do like the text message chat, because it's a lot faster, and they have great chat support. They're like on there within a few minutes, if not a few seconds. And like, hey, my account's disabled. You're trying to figure out like why, what's going on, like what can I do to like get started today? And they were like, oh, let me check. And they were gone for like a minute or two, and then they come out with that copy paste thing like, yeah, we see your account's disabled. We put in a request to have Shipt headquarters message you. This is no guarantee that they will. Okay. Have a great day. We can't help you over here. This is all about like active orders and things like that. And just, that was like the end of it. I was like, okay, cool. We'll see what happens. And in that little copy and pasting, they also gave an email to where you can call, you can reach out to the Shipt headquarters too. So I reached out to him, and I was like, my account's disabled, guys. You know, I'm trying to figure out what happened. just can you give me a heads up? Is it a way we can get this reactivated? I gave him my stats. I was like, say, this is what my score was. This is where it ended. Screenshots, everything. I still had access to everything. Like, help a brother out. And on their main page, like after you finish like video orientation on their website, they give this guy like all this glory. Like, this is a Shipt shopper. He makes $100K a year doing this thing, which is possible because if you work it right, like you can really bring in some pretty decent money because the tips alone are just phenomenal. But I'm thinking to myself, if somebody's making $100K a year and doing as many orders as they probably have to do, somewhere down the line, you've made a few mistakes. Like, everybody makes a mistake or two. No one's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're dealing with substitutions and things like that, it's gonna happen. I waited and waited and waited, never got a reply back for them. I even got on the Facebook message boards, those little sponsor things coming out like shop with Shipt, and I was like, well, it's a really cool service. I had a great time. I just wish you guys valued your drivers as much as you value your customers. We're kind of all in this together. And they have to come in and do like damage control, like, oh my god, I'm really sorry to hear your account got disabled. And accounts can get disabled for many different reasons. I'm like, well, just give me one and I'll see if it fits my need. I'll see if it fits me. Clearly it affected me because I just wanted to know why. And I did Shipt for like 4 months. I was gonna say 6, but no, I did Shipt for like 4 months. And someone commented underneath me, they're like, yeah, man, I did Shipt for a year and I got my account disabled. No follow-up emails, no reason why. I did some research. I was like, I want to know what I did. Like, that kind of thing drives me crazy. So I went online and just Googled like Shipt deactivation. Glassdoor pulled up some people. Indeed pulled up some people and they talked about it. One guy was like, I did Shipt for 2 years. One day, account just disabled out of nowhere. No one follows up with me. No one giving me a reason. It's just really bizarre. So I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from doing Shipt. I really think it was a great service. That like I said, that cherry picking promo queue was amazing. Give it a shot. Just know that it's a possibility. Just like with Uber, your account could get disabled and that could be it. What Shipt taught me which is why I'm like looking into so many different apps, is to not put all of my eggs in one basket. That's why I'm constantly looking for another app to feed my need. Because if Uber just decides to turn around and say, we're going to close everything down because of coronavirus or whatever the case may be, or deactivate my account, then what am I going to do? So I need other things to pull money and resources in. So I'm looking. I signed up for Instacart. I signed up for another company that's like Uber, that's like Instacart and Shipt in its infancy, because it doesn't have an app. It's called Burpee. I know that name is very weird, and it is a grocery delivery service as well. And everything is on like the web-based app. You don't go to like your app store and download one. You just use the app. You use the web to complete the orders. Looking at it, it looks like every order is about $10. It's $5 to do it, and it's $5 to do it, $5 to drop it off. But if the customer adds any items beyond 10 items, it's 25 cents for every item they add after 10 items. So that could be kind of cool, especially, I remember doing Shipt, you had customers constantly adding items to their cart. I got the cart in the mail the other day. I might do a ride-along video with that. The only thing I don't like about it is that once you finish shopping, you got to call the number on the back and say, hey, I'm done shopping, can you give me some money to pay for this crap? Shipt, once you do it, and from what I've seen, once Dimples did hers, like, the card is activated once you hit order complete. Like, it's ready for you to go to the register and pay for it. You don't have to call and beg for the money. That's kind of the only thing that's turning me off about it, but it could be more of a smoother transition than I'm making it to be. That's my experience with Shipt. They say you can always reapply and try to get back on. We'll see if that ever happens. I don't know. Yeah, that was Shipt. Whew. So I know I talked a lot about Shipt, and that was a great way to waste some time because we are arriving at this customer's location.
Turn right onto Cardenas Lane, then the destination is on your right.
Told you. Marcelo?
Hi.
Food for Marcelo?
Yes.
Ah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Was it just me, or did she sound like hella confused? I'm like, Marcelo? I mean, granted, that sounds like a male's name. She's like, yes. And then like she had the door halfway open and closing it. I was like, I mean, I can't hand you food through a closed door. Trust me, I'm not trying to break in. I'm just trying to get you this food so I can move on with my day. I got money to make. I don't know, maybe her husband ordered it for her and it was a surprise. But I think it's a good idea to tell them that, hey, I ordered food and a stranger is going to be coming to the house in about, 10 minutes. Be on the lookout. But yeah, I just find it really crazy that even now, I still get tips. Like the other day, I looked into my account and it was $5. And I was like, I didn't cash out $5 with Uber. And it was Shipt. So to the company's credit, they don't just take your freaking tips that you still receive and just like, oh, we're just gonna put it in the Shipt stock. No, they still pay you out. So, which is another reason I'm like, okay, dude, people are still tipping me to this day. What happened? Shipt, if you're watching this, tell me what happened so I can sleep at night. The Shipt rant is over. I'm still probably gonna reference it here and there a little bit, but comparing the two, because some people are gonna ask me like, what do I think is better? Which one do I prefer? I preferred both of them. If I can go back and do it all over again, I wouldn't have put everything into Shipt. Although it's kind of hard to say you wouldn't when you're making the money you're making in less trips, but you are gonna be doing a little bit more work. Understand that. You're gonna be. My feet used to be worn out coming back from doing Shipt because it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of texting the customer, like I say. I remember going to the grocery store the other day, like, ooh. Thinking back on that, once I was when I was in it, it didn't bother me. But just thinking about going back to, okay, I gotta grab this cart, I gotta go up and down these aisles, gotta find all this food, I gotta text these people who aren't gonna text me back. It kind of put me back in a, in a kind of a shell shock thing. And then when I transitioned back to Uber, I was like, okay, all I'm doing, I'm just going to the restaurant, picking up the food and dropping it off. I don't have to constantly be texting these people. Every now and again I'll text them like, hey, I'm outside, or I'm calling them. I'm not constantly texting them and trying to say, hey, they're out of salt and pepper at this restaurant. Did you want me to grab you a pack of sugar instead? I'm joking, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna be Twitter fingering a lot doing, I was doing Shipt. Because, I want the communication to be good. The funny thing is, gas-wise, I still burned about the same amount of gas, which was very interesting. I was staying in a centralized location. So I don't know how that averaged out. I'm in Texas, so there's a lot of space out here. There's not like where everything's like up on each other. The areas where I were delivering to, you hit a highway and then you're kind of just driving it out. Like you're going into like farm country. So there's acres and acres of farm land that you have to go through and get out. So that could also be why, gas was burned as much. Those people who were out on those farmlands didn't want to, I guess, have to jump on their horse and go, I'm kidding, jump on their horse and come to HEB, but they much rather just have somebody do it for them while they can go out there and feed their chickens. I don't know.
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
Thank you. So which one was more profitable? Number-wise, like on the board, definitely Shipt. I think I took like 1 day off, but I was like snatching up promo orders. And when I say snatching up promo orders, I had like 3. I was like working on 3 promo orders at the same time. That's the best way to do it if you want to like maximize your funds. And that was the only time through doing a gig app I made $1,000. I think it'll be on one of these screenshots. I made like $1,064 and some change. I have yet to make that kind of money in Uber. Another thing about Shipt was I was always busy. There was never any time where I was just kind of sitting around like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get pinged today. If I wasn't on an order, I was ready to snatch up another one. Like there was always something to be done. So got a little bit of a drive to get out of this zone that I'm in. I probably could work it, but there's not a lot of restaurants around here, so I don't think many people are going to be ordering much of anything. But for my people who are watching this video, whether you are old school, new school, just found this channel, don't know what to comment, I'm going to give you something to comment. If you are a rider or a driver and you do this app service, go down below and rep the people who you ride for. Are you an Uber cab service, Uber Eats? Are you Grubhub? Are you Instacart? Are you Shipt? Postmates? Who are you? Let me know. If you are just a customer, just type customer down there. Customer of Uber Eats, customer of Grubhub. I would love to know who's watching these videos. See what I mean? Country. Hill country. Now, I normally don't do this, but I'm giving you guys like a little sneak peek here. I've been online for 2 hours right now, and I've made $40. So if you want to break that down per hour, do the math, and you can see, and I've only done 4 trips. So boosts and promotions work. Definitely tips also help this too. I feel like this video is kind of morphing into a kind of a Q&A kind of thing. But I just want to talk about like earnings, and because a lot of people like, you know, like how much did you make? You know, how much think you're making like per hour? I see a lot of videos where people average out their hours per earning, or earnings per hour. I've done it in a few of my videos, but that's just based on the numbers you have. There's a lot of things that might not be accounted for. For example, even when I'm doing Uber, like I drove all the way to this new zone. Those are periods of time that Uber has me on the clock, but I'm not making any money from it. You know, I'm not doing an order. Same thing when I was doing Shipt. I would be at one grocery store and then another grocery store, you know, I won't say across town, but it's a good distance away. I drop off that order and I would drive all the way to that grocery store. That period of time, I'm not getting paid for. That's why it is very important to try to do something to track your miles. I haven't been as vigilant, as mindful of that as I should be. And doing my taxes, I just start getting into it. Putting my miles in brought what I owe down significantly. So definitely download an app, which is what I'm gonna do here pretty soon, and start tracking your miles, because that is where my biggest write-off came, when I started putting in the miles. Oh, we got an $8 order from Firehouse Subs. Okay, Firehouse. Okay. But just real quick, those are the ones I actually have proof of. You don't want to just put in a whole bunch of miles just because I remember. If you get audited, they're gonna want to see that. So I have the screenshots of when I took, you know, those orders, and you can calculate the miles. I can actually prove that. And when I took my speedometer readings from when I started the day and when I stopped the day, I have a few screenshots of those. Put them all in a folder, print them out, do something, but you want to have proof of that. Uber gives you that digital readout of what you do as well, so you kind of have that footprint. And even still, when you go in the app, each time you click on one of the orders you completed, you know, you see your tip, you click on that, it'll give you the path that you took. It won't give you the exact address, but it'll give you the path and the miles you took. So you do have a way to actually prove that. Now, if you get your account deactivated or deleted, that's a digital footprint you don't have. But you do get that big PDF that I got at the end of the year that showed most of this stuff broken down. So you do want to try to keep track of it some kind of way. I still think having a third-party app whose sole purpose is to track that would be a safe precaution as well. I was using one which was called QuickBooks Small Business. So when I was doing my art stuff, I would travel up to Bell County, which is about 3 hours away from here. And, you know, I would track those miles driving up there. When I was in there, everything I bought, you know, as far as like food or whatnot, that was a business expense. I wouldn't be up there just hanging out. I was up there on business. I got to write all that stuff off. Same thing with Uber. When I go and buy, you know, this tray, if I would have bought bags, fortunately, I got those given to me. Anything you're doing for your business, if you can keep track of it and prove that it's for your business, you can write it off, which I've been able to do a lot. But let's go ahead and get to Firehouse Subs. Yeah. Firehouse. I was wrong. I was wrong. Wow, I don't know what happened to this place, but it's done a complete wow. The guy was like, okay, let me check to make sure we got everything. He pulled up the Uber like ordering screen that they have in there and made sure that everything was in the back. Like, wow, I'm literally speechless. I've been avoiding this place so long because of how bad it was the last few times I came in here, and it's been great. So let me pull myself together, and we're gonna go finish out this delivery for Austin. 12 minutes away. I can't tell you which app to do. I just say if it makes you happy and it makes sense to you, do it. If it's not, then don't. A lot of people are like, well, how much are you spending on gas? Like, you're out there for all hours of the day. I was like, yeah, but the flexibility is what makes it enticing to me. And if it's something you want to do, you'll make it work. Trust me, you'll make it work. And I'm, for the most part, making this work. There's been so many times where I've been like stuck in a cubicle, or like I used to do like retail work, and you walk by the front door and you see like how beautiful it is outside. You're like, man, I just want to sit outside for a while, but you're like stuck in that prison of a retail store. And I did call center work, so stuck in your queue. They had like a lot of nice windows around us, but still I can't go out and be in it. That's one thing I like about this. Like, yeah, it's a lot of driving, and yeah, it's a lot of, you know, this, that, and the third that you guys see me go through. But still, you're still having your freedom. So that's gonna be what you have to figure out with your trade-off. Do you want something stable and know it's gonna be there? I mean, during this coronavirus thing, like I said, if Uber just shuts down, what am I gonna do for bills?
In 500 feet, the destination is on your right. Arrived.
How do I put this? Went to the customer's door. He had hell of a surround sound because like that's all I heard was like stuff crashing, and I'm hoping that was a movie and nobody was like getting murked off in there, but stuff crashing, people talking. It sounded like the TV.
Make a right turn on Sundown Trail.
You have the worst timing. I waited. I then knocked on the door because the doorbell didn't. I guess he didn't hear the doorbell because of all the noise. I knocked on the door pretty hard. Then it sounded like he started up a vacuum cleaner. I was like, what the? So he was vacuuming for a good minute or so. I mean, longer than that, obviously, because I put the timer on there, and we are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you will be paid for this delivery. Let me show you guys. So can't reach him. You'll be paid for this delivery. You can throw away this order in delivery. That's about all I can do. As you can see, I've been texting him like I've arrived, I'm at your door. You know, where are you? That was $8, $8.70. So he just never came to the door. I don't know. Like that was just so weird. I texted him that last message like, hey, I don't know if you can hear me over the vacuuming and the cleaning and the movie, but I'm at your door. I mean, I don't know how he would hear like a little small text message if he couldn't even hear the doorbell ringing. It just perplexes me. Like, you know you have food on the way. Why aren't you on the lookout for this? Anyway, I got Firehouse Subs in here, and it was a pretty stacked order too. Dude had cookies and all kind of stuff. That's why I was thinking maybe he had it for his family, his kids. I wanted to make sure they got it. I wasn't trying not to get him his food, but like, what can I do if you're not gonna open the door? I waited. I know a lot of people probably would have been like, well, you know, they didn't answer, their loss, my gain. And it's it just doesn't hit me that way most of the time. It's like I'm out here doing a job and doing a service for a reason. I'm trying to actually help people out, get this food to them, especially when I think there's kids involved. You know how kids can be. They're not that understanding of real life situations. Like the cookies didn't come, and then you're like, I'm sorry, mommy and daddy was too busy wanting to clean the freaking carpet to monitor their order. Like, and that's just kind of what it came down to. Like, that's why I actually waited as long as I did. You know, I put the call in and the timer ran down, and you know, I still got paid for the order, but I would have much rather have dropped this food off to that family. I don't do these orders praying that somebody doesn't open their doors so I get some free food. That's not it at all. It's a big bag of food. Let's just see what's even in here. Let's cut. They have 2 roast beef subs. One has a pickle, chips, and 2 cookies. 2 cookies. I don't even like chocolate chip cookies. Y'all know I eat oatmeal. Oatmeal raisin, baby. I'm trying out these chips, and they just taste like disappointment. It just don't hit the same. Like, I don't know. I will say this though, if that's the only thing that happens today that's crazy for me, I'll take. You guys know I can have some pretty upside down days. So that's nothing compared to some of the things that I've had to go through. Earlier today, I asked you guys to comment down like below, like, who are you? Are you a driver? Are you just a watcher? Are you a food delivery service? Like what do you do? Or do you have a regular 9 to 5? And on top of that, inquiring minds want to know, what is a reason why you would not tip? Aside from the obvious, the driver was rude, the experience was bad, but when you have a person who goes out of their way. You know, they make sure you have utensils. They make sure they get Parmesan cheese for your pizza. They read your notes. They follow your directions to the letter. They drive across town to bring you the food. The experience was seamless, but yet you still don't tip. I would love to know, I'm sure a lot of other people would like to know why you don't tip. I think I was in a Facebook group, maybe, I read a lot of comments everywhere, and some chick wrote, you know, she did a lot for the customer and they still didn't tip. And this person was even a food delivery driver. I think she said they walked by their car or something. Like they were walking up to their house, walked by their car, looked in their back seat, which is weird, but saw that they had a Grubhub bag, like one of those red bags, Grubhub, DoorDash, one of those red bags, food delivery bags in their back seat. So she knew the person, they knew the game, and they still didn't tip her. So I would love to know, what is the determining factor as to why you wouldn't tip someone who does a task for you? That's what this is. This is a task, I would say. Going to the grocery store, that's a chore. I kind of want that to be free range, like nobody attacking everybody for doing what they did or not do. I've been guilty of that myself, especially with Uber Eats, when I was using it heavily. I mean, I haven't ordered food for myself in quite a while. Now I actually just go get it. I'm like, I'm going getting food for everybody else. Why can't I just go in my own car and get my own food? I would always say, okay, I'm gonna tip this person. And I'll sit down, I'll start eating, I'll start watching the movie, and before I know it, I got wrapped up in a whole lot of other things, and the day has gone by. The next time I go on the app, you get that little thing that pops up like, how was such and such you know, driving experience or delivery experience? I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to tip that person. So that I can understand. And then I actually do go back in and tip the person. If you do tip a person a while after that, Uber still does credit you. I'll say that because last year, when I was phasing out Uber and doing Shipt, I went to New York to visit some friends up there, and we went to like a Broadway show. I'm not gonna say which one it is because it was kind of embarrassing, but I did go see it. We had just got out of an Uber ride, and they dropped us off in front of Broadway. And when I was sitting down in the seats, a notification came up and said, "You've received a tip." And I was like, we are supposed to tip the Uber cab service. They're not supposed to tip us. Like, oh, wait a minute. This might have been from an order that I did a while back. And come to find out, it did have a little thing that this was a past order tip. It showed me like a notification. But I'm talking about the people who just knowingly say, I'm not giving this person a tip. I want to know what's the reason, good or bad. Just like, let us know. Hey, picking up for Margaret.
Here?
Soda's in there, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, wasn't taking any chances. Want to make sure that the sodas are going to be in this bag because, you know me and drinks, we just don't click. Hey, Margaret.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, have a great night. Okay, so we got that order dropped off for Margaret, and I'm getting out of this zone. I don't know if it's just me, but something about being in other people's residential areas just always kind of freaks me out. It always just seems like so purgy. Like, I don't know you people, you don't know me, let me just get out of here. Like I say, in Texas, I mean, we had that movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre here for a reason. There's a lot of wooded, sketchy looking houses and homes around here. I mean, that was like a really nice neighborhood, but it's just a lot of areas can have that feel, and you know, where you're just not in a familiar place, it can give you the willies. I don't know if you guys can see that coming up, but this guy has a mailbox that looks like a hammer. See that? Hello. For Lindsay? Under Uber?
Yeah. 710.
2E7?
Yeah.
Thank you much. Okay, just picked up a order for Lindsay. We're starting delivery on this, and we're gonna go drop this bad boy off. Cool, it's at a house. I'll take a house over an apartment any day. So looking at the map, looks like that's gonna be a drive. So I'm actually gonna put on me some true scary stories at the playground, and we're gonna get this thing going. What do you guys listen to when you have long drives? Blue Spooky is one of the YouTubers that I listen to when I'm doing some of these longer drives. Even at night, when I'm just about to go to sleep, believe it or not, I listen to a lot of scary stories. It's kind of crazy.
The destination is on your left. Arrived.
Well, didn't even have to go far. He met me as soon as I came out the house. Although this customer's name in the app is called Lindsay. Maybe the girlfriend ordered it for him. We're not here to judge. We're moving on. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a minute, you guys know how Applebee's is. I'm about to go in here, and I wonder if it's gonna be at the actual curbside pickup, or if it's gonna be at the bar. Just never know. Go on and put your bets in now. I see a bag.
Single order for
Ashley?
Ashley. Is it Uber?
For Uber, yeah. UberEats.
There you go.
Thank you much.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too. Well, if you guys said that they had it at the curbside area, you were right. If you had it, if you said if they had it at the bar, fortunately, you were wrong. You just never know. I never know. I go in all hours of the day to that place. Sometimes it's at the bar, sometimes it's on curbside. You just don't know. Either way, we got the food. We're gonna go drop this off. This might be my last order. It's starting to get dark and it's about 7:38. I am back in my apartment. It's weird. This actually looks like this is gonna be a full-length video. I have to see how it all comes together when I edit it, but I was expecting just to kind of jump in, give you guys a couple little video clips, and it turned into a whole Shipt rant, my history with them, and then I ended up doing some more orders, and Firehouse Subs kind of redeemed themselves, and yeah, you just never know what happens when you turn the camera on, but I'm glad I did today. I was not actually planning on vlogging today, but I'm glad I did. I will say also too, the tips today have been fantabuloso. Like, they have been really hooking me up with the tips in the Uber app. So let's get together on this screen and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So here we are on the app right here, right now. Let's see what we have for the money today. God, why do you do this to me? They're watching. Bam, 113.57. We've done 9 trips today and we were able to capture that. That's kind of crazy because I spent a lot of time today sitting around. I was on Instagram, building up my TikTok. I was chatting with my friend. Like, I wasn't working hard today at all, which is crazy that I got this amount. But I'm gonna show you why. For one, I was working in some pretty decent zones. This is me for the week. Monday I went out for a little bit just to kind of test the waters. Then I came back home. I just, wasn't really feeling it. I was actually on my way home. Take that back. I was on my way home, turned it on, made $30, and said, you know what? I'm close to my neighborhood. I'm just gonna turn it off and take today off. As you can see, Tuesday took the day off completely. Went back out. Like, it was like every other day. It was good, as you can see. So worked a full day that day, tried to work a full day that day, app wasn't hitting. I think that's in one of my videos, so I just kind of turned it off. I think that's the video where I went and like did the reviews on the other apps that I use to get money and kind of Frankenstein that video together. So that was that day. Then came out the next day, killed it with $138. Then Saturday was a hit or miss too, so I kind of cut it short. I was actually sitting in my apartment most of Saturday with the app on, and as orders came in, I just ran and got them. They were all in my area, so I didn't have to go far, which is kind of cool. And then today, I went out for a full day. Well, Uber says it was 6 hours, but I know it was a lot longer than that. And 113, just kind of bumming around in the parking lots, doing what I would probably be doing at home. Now we're getting to the breakdown. As you can see, Uber says I was working pretty much 7 hours if you guys want to round it up, but in 9 trips, and we're gonna go to the activity. So far my last order hasn't tipped me yet. We'll see if anything comes in. This person hasn't tipped me, but everybody else has. But look at the payout with the tips. This person here, almost $15 in a tip. Like, they hooked me up. This person here, $7 with the tip. There's an easy way to do this. Why am I making this difficult? Let's get out of here. Click on thy face. And then we're just going to go to tips received. How about that? So we got 7, 2, 7, 14, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6. Oh, wait, we're getting into yesterday. So they have an Uber thing here about the 14-day Corona assistance. So I guess They're saying if you were to contract the virus and test positively for it, obviously you probably have to get like some kind of medical report. Uber is supposed to pay you 14 days paid leave. How much you're gonna get paid, I don't know. It's all off in here. I need to actually probably take a few moments and actually read this, though I don't plan on just like contracting this crazy virus, but you just never know, and you need to know what to do financially. But yeah, all in all, not bad at all. And like I said, like I didn't do a lot of work today. That $14 that $14 tip that whoever that person was put in really just took my day over the moon. I was already doing pretty well with tips and working some pretty good bonus zones. So we'll see if the last customer tip, you guys know I'm going to edit it and put it on the screen whether they did or not. Hopefully they did. Just with this whole corona thing going, these apps have already been unstable. It's even more unstable now. We don't know what's going to happen. I might come to a situation where like you probably should have stayed out there and just kept working as long as you could while you could get money, because if they turn these apps off, they turn these zones off, they lock us in our houses, like what are we supposed to do? Just pray that this passes soon, and just pray that we can continue to make money the way we've been doing it. Other than that, guys, I'm reaching the end of this video. I thank you so much for watching this video to this point. I know, like I said, these last couple of videos have been kind of Frankenstein together. I've been kind of just up and down talking about different topics, but I hope you guys get something out of it. And if you do get something out of it, hit the like button, then hit the subscription button, and hit the notification bell, because I will be bringing some more videos, and I want you to be the first ones to run to your computer or phone to watch them for me, okay? So you guys, this is a Sunday, so the upcoming week, I hope you have a great week. Stay safe, keep your hands clean, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.